Welcome back to the studio. Today I'm continue to work on Serenade of the Sea, and we're working on the geraniums. Geraniums in this pot, and there'll be sweet potato vine tumbling out. So I begin with a mixture of cadmium red deep plus alizarin crimson. And I block in my flowers first. I do the flowers first because when I come back to do the leaves, and I paint the green of the leaves around the flowers. If I were to paint the greens first and then come back and do the red, my brush would pick up some of that green and it would muddy the red of the flower color. So I like to block in my flowers first. There are some exceptions to this, but the majority of flowers I will paint in this sequence. And I'm using, this is just cadmium red deep. And then my dark again is a mixture of alizarin crimson plus cadmium red deep. And then the highlight for the flowers is cadmium red light. The light's coming in from the right, so the blossoms on the right-hand side will be brighter. Highlight those petals. I'll come back and do more highlights on them once I get the leaves in. Now I'm going to do the leaves. And again, I use a bright brush. This is a square brush. I prefer using the brights because with the flat side I can block in a large area, but then I can also use the corner to make smaller details. So it's a versatile brush. And I have said this before, but I've tried many different types of brushes. I've tried working with rounds. For a while I used filberts and like those, but when I discovered the bright brushes, they're perfect for me. And brushes are a very individual thing to artists. It's individual preference. So just because I like brights doesn't mean that you have to. You might find some other variety of brush that you like better. But they work better for me. Now this is a little phthalo blue plus white, just adding some coolness into the foliage. Those leaves break out over I want them to go past that column so that again gives the feeling of depth. When you have elements overlapping, that helps to give the feeling of depth in a painting. See how I'm using the corner of that brush to highlight those leaves. And sometimes I'll pick up a couple of different values. Well, that doesn't show real well. I pick up several different values on my brush, and that just gives me some variation of color in my leaves. Because if you look at flowers and leaves and stuff, they're not just all solid colors. There's a lot of variation in the tones, the values. Now I'm going to start doing the sweet potato vine. And it's mixtures of phthalo blue plus cadmium yellow medium. The leaves for the geraniums were phthalo blue plus lemon yellow. That gives a brighter, cooler green. The cadmium yellow medium plus the phthalo blue gives a warmer green. These are heart-shaped leaves sweet potato vine. And I can just use my brush, the corner of my brush, to make those leaves. I'm going to just block in a bunch of color right here where they start cascading out of the container. I'll let a couple break out over the water. This painting I'm going to offer for sale on my website, www.senkarik.com. And since it's a Valentine's painting, I'm going to have a special Valentine's collection on my website, and all the pieces will be 14%, offered at a 14% savings from my regular prices, since Valentine's Day, February 14th. So these are going to be offered at a special price. And I will have that website on the final frame of my video, that information. Now I have saved my color from the columns, and so I can come back. I want to work around these leaves and paint that column back there. I wasn't real sure when I painted that where my leaves would be going, but now that I've got them in, I can paint that. And also for my flower pot, I've also got that color saved. I want a little darker here since that's in shadow. I love sweet potato vines. I like the shape of the leaves. It adds just a kind of a touch of romance to a piece. That subtle little hearts. Jack and I are both die-hard romantics. We're hopeless romantics, I guess is how he used to put it. And anything with hearts and romance was just very special to us. So this is going to have a little bit of romance in it, particularly since it's for Valentine's Day. I do a lot of paintings, commissions that are people commission me to do paintings for gifts. And art is a wonderful gift to give because it continues to bring smiles all year long. Long after candy and flowers and all that kind of stuff are gone. The painting is still, the person that you give it to just can enjoy it every time they look at it and be reminded of how much you care for them when they see it. So, paintings make wonderful gifts. Or they even make a great gift to yourself. And when I design paintings, I like to think about making a scene that I would either like this particular painting, I'd love to just sit there in those chairs and take a sip of wine and think of just being on this little terrace with the person that you love and sit there serenaded by the sea. Sounds of the surf, just the waves crashing. How much more romantic can you get than that? Well, that's our sweet potato vine there, and it's draping down. I like the way those rocks are. I originally was going to have it piling out of this side, but I'm not sure I'm going to. I think I may just let it come down in back of the pot, and then it'll break out once we get down lower. I really like the way those rocks are and the reflections. So I'll just let the vine go back behind on the other side of this container, and then it'll pop out down here. Break across the column here below. I add a little more phthalo blue into that mixture to make it a little bit darker. Comes down behind the pot. All right. Now I'm going to put the stems in the geraniums. Again, I'm back to my phthalo blue plus lemon yellow. This is a little cooler. I want to highlight now I'm just laying the color on top because I don't want to pick up that green and muddy my highlights. So I just gently lay that color on top of the underlying color. Oops, too much. This one over here is getting just a touch of light hitting it. Now I'm going to put the little flower buds that geraniums have, and I just brace on the part of the painting that's unpainted. These little flower buds are so characteristic of geraniums. Now I'm using a little darker mixture for these on the back side because they're not getting as much light. I'm going to do my little vines here on the sweet potato vine, the little streamers, the little vines that come down. And this is catch the light. And a little vine back here. I'm going to add just a little bit of white into my cadmium red light, not much because I don't want it to get too pink, but I'm just going to add just a touch of white in this, just to give me a little extra highlight. See how this now that I'm getting the warmth of the flowers in here, the blues in the water and all just fall back That's a good example. Warm colors come forward, cool colors go back. Now the last thing to do is throw a few little geranium petals down on the floor. I've never seen a garden unless it's just been freshly blown. But there aren't a few little flower petals here and there on the ground. And there we go. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you watching. And again, if you're interested in adding this painting to your collection, visit my website. The address is on the final frame of the video. And again, that's www.senkarik.com. I appreciate you watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Well, hi everybody. I just wanted to thank you again for watching my YouTube videos. I really appreciate you following my videos, subscribing to my YouTube channel. It means a lot to me, and always feel free to ask questions. I do these to help fellow artists. Today I wanted to let you know that this painting, Serenade of the Sea, is going to be offered on my website for Valentine's Day. It's a Valentine special, and it'll be 14% off the regular price. In our white Senkarik signature frame, it's ready to hang, and it's all wired, and all you have to do when you get it, if you decide to give it to the person you love, then all they have to do is just hang it on their wall, and every time they look at it, they'll think of you and think how just wonderful it is that you thought so much of them, to give them a little terrace to just think of sitting with you, sipping wine, and listening to the Serenade of the Sea. I thank you again, and just the link to my website, Senkarik.com, is in the description below the video. Also, this will take you directly to my Valentine specials. You go to my website, Senkarik.com. The address will be on the final frame of this YouTube video. Go to Senkarik.com and click on Valentine specials, and then go from there. There will be a special selection of paintings just for you. So you have a great day, and happy Valentine's Day.